So before I begin, I'm going to explain to you a few basic principles of power reading. When you're reading this, hopefully you're going the future of food. You're not still going T-H-E, the F-E-T-U-R-E, future. That will make you so incredibly slow. But that's what we learn when we were kids. Problem is, most of us stop there. Right? So most of us reading food consumption in OECD countries is set to. In reality, we could be reading entire phrases, entire sentences, entire paragraphs, even entire pages in one glance. The way we can train ourselves to quickly do that is start by reading it from the third word rather than the first word. Because when you're reading it from the first word, you're reading this way. When you start reading from the third word, you're forcing your eyes to read this much at a time. In the end, third word from the last, and then you read that much at a time. So you can read an entire sentence in just 2 glances, rather than just reading word by word. If you've ever read the same sentence or paragraph over and over again, you're wasting your time. Because you're just going back over the same thing and not making progress. So what can you do to limit that problem? Well, use the power of the finger. What you do with your finger is you force your eyes to follow your finger as it moves faster and faster right below every single sentence. What this does is trains your eyes never to go back over something you already read. That will make you twice as fast with just that tip alone. Those 2 techniques were reading larger chunks at a time and using your finger to keep on going forward so you don't ever go back and waste time. Now let's talk about some physical techniques that you can use. So first physical technique is getting some books and placing them together so you can read your book at a 45 degrees angle, like so. See? Like this. This will make sure that your face and your eyes and your back is in better posture, so better energy, so you can read better. Okay? So you're not hunch over like this, like some people are when they're reading books lying down. And another technique that's really important is most people, when they turn on pages, they wait until they get down to the bottom of the page and turn page like this. And then read, get down and turn the page, and then start reading here. That takes about 1 to 2 seconds every time you turn your page. The way I do it is I use my left hand, get a right top corner. So as I get to the bottom of the page, instantly I'm already on the top again. Like that, see? You can see how much faster that is when you're reading a book like that versus when you're reading, this way. Sometimes you can't even get a good grip on the page, right? So you turn the wrong page. But if you use your left hand when you're reading and you're ready, boom, that's a lot faster. Now you might be saying, well, that's 1 or 2 seconds every single page. What difference does that make? Well, if you're reading a 300-page book, that's 600 seconds that will save. 10 entire minutes. You're reading 12 books, that's 120 minutes. 2 entire hours you save just by a simple technique of turning your page better. So you combine the page turn technique, reading in chunks, and using a finger, you probably already at least double, triple, or quadruple your reading speed with just those techniques alone. I never bought a college book in my life. I saved over $4,000 that way. I would just borrow them from a library or borrow them from friends. What I do when I'm borrowing books to take good notes is I use a post-it card and a book. So there's a section of the book that I like. For example, if the notes is right here, and I just stick the notes on it right next to where that section is. It's kind of like cinematic highlighting it, so it's right where it is, right? If it's over here, then I just put it this way, so I know where that place is at. Sorry if you can't see it, but yeah, okay. That's what I do for taking notes. Alright, now I'm going to give you a basic strategy about how to approach books. What you always want to do when you're reading a book is understand why are you reading it. What information do you want out of this book? And how are you going to get that information? If you know those 3 things, then reading will be a cinch. Now that should be fun too. It's kind of like a treasure hunt. You're kind of looking for the secret treasures, the hidden information. It's going to take your book, take your paper to the next level, right? What I like to do is read the back first to get a general overview of the book. Then go to the table of contents to get, what the structure of this book is, where all the information is. Then I read the introduction to get a basic grasp of what this author thinks about the world. Then I go to the very back of the book after introduction and read the summary at the end. That tells you the overall basics of the book. After that, I just go to the section that I need to read. For example, on this book about food, I already know a little bit about, for example, how nutritionism is bad for you because you just focus on nutrition and forget about the real process of food. But what I don't know anything about right now is how they actually grow their food, the agricultural system, the industrial system, and the biotechnology. I don't know anything about that right now. So as I'm reading through a section, I see that this thing is about the health of the food. Okay, I know that. I don't need to read that section. Biotechnology, know nothing about, so let's jump to that section. But if you want to be safe, you can still go to that section that you know something about. For me, it would be about the nutrition and health of the food. Yeah? And I read the first sentence of every single paragraph, because that sentence will tell you what the rest of the paragraph is about. If you know that sentence, you understand it, skip the paragraph, because you're not going to get anything new out of it, right? So I'm doing that. I'm actually reading this right now in real time. All this stuff I already know, right? Okay, there's a new information right here that I just found out. Now slow down, read through it a little bit more carefully. And, okay, I got a few new insights out of that chapter. When you go on to the next chapter, you know anything about, you do the same thing. You read the topic sentence. If it's something they understand, something that's interesting to you, read the paragraph. If it's not, skip that entire paragraph, move on to the next session. Not going to miss anything important anyways, because people always put their best stuff first. If it's not in the first sentence, the rest of the paragraph isn't going to tell you anything that you need. Alright, so let's begin reading.